Caroline Leavitt just ran away when asked multiple questions about the thing that Donald Trump posted earlier today, which is that he called for the hanging and execution of Democratic members of Congress. And she also answered about Donald Trump calling a reporter piggy.
Quiet.
I also have Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi responding to Donald Trump's tweet. Let's just first get to this part where I feel like she makes it worse when responding to why Donald Trump called a reporter piggy.
Tomorrow, and I'll let the president speak for himself. Natalie.
Thank you, Caroline. What did the president mean when he called a reporter piggy?
Look, the president is very frank and honest with everyone in this room. You've all seen it yourself. You've all experienced it yourselves, and I think it's one of the many reasons that the American people reelected this president, because of his frankness. And he calls out fake news when he sees it. He gets frustrated with reporters when you lie about him, when you spread fake news about him and his administration. But he also is the most transparent president in history. And he gives all of you in this room, as you all know, unprecedented access. You are in the Oval Office almost every day asking the president questions. And so I think the president being frank and open and honest to your faces rather than hiding behind your backs is frankly a lot more respectful than what you saw in the last administration, where you had a president who lied to your face and then didn't speak to you for weeks and hid upstairs and didn't take your questions. So I think everyone in this room should appreciate the frankness and the openness that you get from President Trump on a near daily basis.
You should thank Donald Trump for calling you piggy. That's what she's saying. She's saying, thank you, Donald Trump, for being so transparent. You're not being a piece of shit behind my back. At least you're being a piece of shit to my face. I actually don't think that's great. I don't think the president of the United States should be calling anyone names. How about that? How about, what happened to our leaders being people that we held to the highest standard instead of the lowest? If your boss called you a name, you would go to HR. If you don't have HR, you would certainly not accept it, or you'd be looking for another job. That type of abuse isn't allowed. It's not okay. And the fact that she's just saying that it's actually fine, to me, speaks to her character. The cross is on. How is it not burning? How is it not burning? The cross is on. But it does speak to her character. It also speaks to her fake Christian values. And it's giving permission for more people to act that way, because they see the president do it. They see this woman defend it, and they're like, oh, well, I guess that's right. Maybe I should just be a piece of shit to people rather than just thinking the things I want to say. All right. Now, when asked about the Democratic members of Congress who just reminded military, hey, you don't want to follow illegal orders. Here's what she said. She got caught in a lie.
Can I just follow up? The president and the vice president, for that matter, have accused the other side of encouraging political violence. Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to encourage and incite violence? They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command, not to follow lawful orders.
Actually,
every single
you can refuse an illegal order, which is
they're suggesting, Nancy, that the president has given illegal orders, which he has not. Every single order that is given to this.
You can watch this video on my last upload about Donald Trump's insane tweet that led to all this. We watched the video. Ain't nothing wrong with what they said. Ain't nothing. They're just saying, hey, just a reminder, things are getting crazy. Just a reminder, Donald Trump's not going to be in power forever. And if you want to, not be in the new Nuremberg trials in the ballroom that he's making, maybe you don't want to follow illegal orders.
The United States military by this commander-in-chief and through this chain of command, through the Secretary of War, is lawful. And the courts have proven that. This administration has an unparalleled record at the Supreme Court because we are following the laws. We don't defy court orders. We do things by the books. And to suggest and encourage that active duty service members defy the chain of command is a very dangerous thing for sitting members of Congress to do.
They didn't say that. You're saying something they did not say. I agree. That would be bad. That would be bad. That's not what they're saying. You are evil. Evil woman defending evil. All right. She also said this. Oh, no, she ran away. I want to quickly talk to you about something that's really important to me. Every move you make online, your searches, your location, your data, it can all be tracked. It can be logged, sold. And if that doesn't make you uncomfortable, it should. That's why I use Surfshark. One subscription covers every device I own, my phone, my laptop, my smart TV, all of it. Surfshark doesn't keep logs, it doesn't track what you do, and it doesn't store your data. And if you want to try it out, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's totally risk-free. And get this, Surfshark just became the only VPN in the world to reach coverage in 100 countries. That means more access, more privacy, and more ways to protect yourself no matter where you are. Your data should belong to you, not the people trying to track you, you. So take it back, go to surfshark.com/Keith Edwards and use code Keith Edwards to get 4 extra months. Protect your privacy, protect your freedom. Get Surfshark, use code Keith Edwards. Before we get to her running away, let's just hear a little bit more evil, shall we?
Brian.
Thank you, Carolyn. 2 questions. We were talking about before, earlier in this briefing, about the president's orders. You were going back and forth about what the ad said and what it didn't say. My first question is...
The ad?
The advertisement that the Senate Democrats were featured in. So my first question is, no matter what the order is, it could be to any administration official, military or otherwise, no matter if legal experts might think it's illegal, does the president expect those cabinet members, administration officials to go ahead with those orders regardless of any outside thinking or expert?
The president expects his cabinet officials and the administration to follow the law and to demand accountability and hold people accountable for their dangerous rhetoric. And I would just add that if this were Republican members of Congress who were encouraging members of the military and members of our United States government to defy orders from the president and from the chain of command, this entire room would be up in arms. But instead, it is the other way around, and I think that's quite telling. I'm going to let you all go because the president, excuse me, the president.
And then she ran away.
And you will hear more about that later. Thank you.
Misquoted Democrats in that video. That's actually not.
Coward, evil coward. All right. Now, Nancy Pelosi had this to say about Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is the worst president of the United States for America's children.
I mean, shit. Say it with your full chest, Nancy.
Donald Trump is the worst president of the United States for America's children.
For everyone, but yes. For the world, but yes. And for America's children.
The worst president American children have ever had in terms of their health, their education, the clean, safe environment in which they can thrive, including safety from gun violence, I would add, the job, economic security of their families, and a future that is fair and just in terms of yes, the planet, the air they breathe, but also the economic situation they live in. And he is giving them as a gift a $600 billion increase in the national debt for them to pay off as he takes away health care from them, takes down the Department of Education, and the rest of it.
You know, I will say this about Nancy Pelosi. She resigned from leader and allowed Hakeem Jeffries, who maybe hasn't been great, but she at least said, hey, I did my time. I've done what I could. It is time to pass down power to someone else. And she also is now resigning. Like, she's not even running for re-election. She probably would have won if she would have ran again. So I fully respect that part of Nancy Pelosi's long and historic career, that she has given up power when she did not have to. And I wish more members of Congress would follow her lead. She also has a way with words, doesn't she? Now, on the other side of it, Chuck Schumer.
Have you talk about the political rhetoric and just the dangers of this? I mean, we saw what happened.
The dangers are tremendous.
Husband. I mean, how concerned are you that this is?
We are very concerned. The trouble is, the president seems to be not only not concerned about it, but almost delighting in this kind of dangerous political rhetoric, and it's despicable.
Despicable. Okay, thanks. Got it. Yeah, really putting an exclamation point on that. Okay. Well, actually, I never know how to treat this shit because it's like, do you act like Donald Trump is going to do it? Or do you just kind of say, this is just an old man? This is what narcissists really do when they're losing control. They lash out. I don't know what the right answer is. How do you respond to this? Do you treat it like everything else? Like it's like he's dropping shit on protesters? Or do you treat this like he is the president of the United States who actually has of sound mind and body? I don't know. You tell me what you would do if you were in Chuck Schumer's position. I actually don't know what I would say. I think I would lean towards probably mocking him rather than treating it like he wants, which is that, you know, responding, getting upset. He wants us to get upset. I think we're kind of playing into his hands by getting upset rather than just mocking him. I put on Twitter, I said, go eat more McDonald's, piggy. That's how I responded to this. But I don't know. I'm not a member of Congress. I'm not in leadership. So that's all I got. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Bye.